there's, a clear difference that not a lot of people know between the shape of these mugs and,
I think the shape of the
um,
mug is what we really want to capture in regards to how we want their friends and family, loved ones to taste their morning cup of coffee at Christmas time or after that, after they got their gift, and enjoy it.
all right,
All right.
we're rolling.
Okay. So today's episode is really about selecting what may be your two things. What would be your best cup to select when you're drinking coffee? What's your preference? And I know this is a season, and that's why we have a bunch of holiday cups here. This is a chance when a lot of people go about buying coffee cups for friends and family. So we thought we'd spend some time just talking about what makes a difference in selecting a cup, and then how does it taste? How does the taste of coffee actually set the pulse of the business?
I was driving down the road. I just saw one of those Christmas signs up, and it gets earlier and earlier every year. So most of us are starting to figure out what we want to get for, the people we love. And most of us are going to receive gifts like this. We're going to receive, Christmas mugs to have our morning cup of coffee on Christmas Day in. And there's, a clear difference that not a lot of people know between the shape of these mugs.
I think the shape of the mug is what we really want to capture in regards to how we want their friends and family, loved ones to taste their morning cup of coffee at Christmas time or after that, after they got their gift, and enjoy it. So we want to talk a little more about that. When you're selecting cups, what's some of the things you look for in regards to
I
cup
think for
selection?
me, my personal preference is less based around the shape of the mug itself, but
Uh-huh.
more so the handle is a
Okay.
big piece for me.
And what are you looking for there?
Well, I think for me specifically, I really enjoy a handle that's a little bit thicker
Okay.
because I guess it's easier to grip. And
That's a good point because that is why, as you see, there is a distinct. This one's a little bit smaller.
I feel like it's
So
harder to grip for a long period of time.
if the hand is really kind of, it feels a little bit uncomfortable. The smaller handles, I'll treat it
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
'Cause this one, I'll take it. Yeah,
Like a soup mug.
yeah. This is a hefty one, and that is a bigger. So that's a good call out. I mean, I think depending on who you're buying for, I think it is a distinctive to look at how it feels in your hand. They've done tests about that, how important it is for how it feels in your hand, actually. Because with everything we do, especially with coffee and food and so forth, it's about the feeling, the texture of how emotionally we're connected to the cup, really, and then how it tastes, right? So if you have a cup,
Really?
yeah. So if you have a cup that feels uncomfortable, sometimes during the research, they were saying that your distinct tastes will be different because they're your mindset, right? But let's get a little more into the scientific aspect. But let's talk more about. So you like the comfortability of the handle? Is decorative make a difference, like between that cup and more of just a basic coffee kind of campfire cup? This would be, or this
I
is more decorative.
personally, I don't think I would buy this mug specifically for
Yeah.
myself.
Uh-huh.
It's very cool looking, like it's
Yeah.
something you put on your shelf maybe, but I can't imagine drinking, anything out of this. Specifically, I think because the lip around here looks like it'd be very hard, like I'd spill it all over myself
Eh,
with this lip versus, you have this little edge here on this mug. You
right.
can kind of
And this one
see,
too.
and this, yeah, these are both easier to drink from.
But that
So
would be like a cool hot chocolate mug for Christmas morning,
oh
Christmas
yeah,
Eve,
yeah, for like one time or, I think
like you said on the shelf at Christmas
even as
time.
like a collector's type,
Yeah, I agree.
but definitely I don't think I would be drinking my morning caffeine out of
It's
this.
just more of a decorative cup and so forth. No, I agree with you. And then so you got the handle, you got kind of what you're looking for. And would that be different for you as far as if you're buying for friends and so forth? Would you be looking at the same characteristics of decorative, the handle size, depending on the individual, if you're buying for a man, a woman, grandparents,
Well, I think something I
things like
look
that?
for if I'm buying for, a male friend that has like, thicker hands or fingers,
Yeah, bigger hands. Yeah.
kind of like you, I would probably go for a, thicker handle because I
Yeah.
think it's a lot easier to hold versus, mom. she would probably want a daintier
Well,
style of mug. Also, this one's pretty hefty. Like this is a very heavy mug to carry around compared to, these two mugs over here, I think. Um,
and then let's talk about just profile of taste. Do you think that a cup that has a wider mouth, or that's kind of medium and small? I think you got the smallest mouth or opening. Do you think that would taste different in how the coffee tastes? What's your take on it? You have any idea?
well, I mean, I don't know the science behind it, but I don't think so.
Well, they're saying, I mean, and I have, I've done a little bit of testing on this, but has couple things. The wide mouth is good in the sense of the aroma comes out
Oh, that makes sense.
quicker, I guess you'd say, good or bad, but it comes
Okay.
out quicker, right? Some people say that the wider mouth also has a tendency to, well, cool off a little bit faster because it's more air is getting in there, right? And it's depending on what kind of cup you have, because the thicker the cup, it's also going to hold the heat. But they have a tendency to say, and I kind of taste this in some of the coffees, it's sweeter. It's
Mm.
sweeter. Whereas the smaller mouth or the more narrow mouth, it has a tendency to be a little more intense, a little bolder. Um, and that's, coffee again, as you saw our first podcast
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, where
First episode. Yeah.
we talked about the difference of, coffee is emotionally, what's the word I'm looking for? Committed to that personal touch, right? So you're really, it's what I'm saying is my opinion. What you say is kind of your opinion. So someone can do the same thing, but
Well,
science wise, yeah,
and what I think in the first episode you said that we uh taste through our nose, so it's kind
correct.
of what you were saying there.
So that would be a really good one because then you can kind of, getting it
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
intense and you're kind of pulling up your nostrils and things. So that'd
But
be
I'm
interesting.
wondering for this one, kind of how we were saying, like, maybe a mocha or something like that's what this is more designed for having, because I don't know, maybe chocolate is more of a bitter, you want that kind of
Hmm,
strong,
hmm,
flavor to kind of
yeah,
come out. And that's why the lip is designed this way
yeah. I mean, it could be in.
for
I
holiday
think that's
beverages. I
and
don't
and the
know.
and the the quality of the cups themselves. It's more decorative, like you said. This is more of a campfire kind of big cup. You got in your cold outside with your campfire. This to me is more of like more dainty, more delicate. And I think all those characteristics are great for me because selection of coffee cups is perfect. I mean, as you know, we have hundreds of them. Uh, but I do think if you're looking for something to be identifying as far as when you're selecting for your own self or a friend, is what kind of personality, a person that you're going to get the cup. Because you say like if you're buying for a male friend, it's kind of a bigger cup, maybe if they have
Yeah,
bigger
definitely.
hands. Because I think it's about how does it feel in your hand, how will they use the cup, take some time really to look at and browse through different cups and really kind of feel and touch them, the weight of them. And I think that will make a difference on how the experience is, because we're talking about experience. And then as you're pouring your own cups of coffee, which we're going to do ourselves, is talking through how the taste and texture and the nuance of the flavors come out in the cup of coffee. So if you wouldn't mind, I think what you want to talk about, like what we're going to do here. I mean, I'll talk about the coffee. Do you want to talk about like why we selected these three? Do we feel comfortable talking about the food and so forth and what we're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
do?
No, I had no
Okay.
problem talking about the
All right.
food.
Okay. We are. Can I pour, sir?
Yes,
Because I
you may
know
pour.
you can pour. Thank
Now,
you.
yeah. So kind of what we have, and it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if we can kind of tilt that towards you guys.
Yeah.
What we have here, we have a blueberry muffin, we have cheese, and then we have chocolate, which all have different flavor profiles. And with coffee, we kind of talked about this in the last episode, is with coffee, if you try it with different things, it kind of brings out different notes that you can taste within that coffee.
And it's
Um,
individual too.
and
Like
it's individual, yes. So,
yeah.
the berries in the muffin might bring out more, berry type flavors or profile like that versus, the cheese that's more savory might bring out, notes that you wouldn't expect, the coffee to, have, I guess.
And we're doing a Kenya coffee this time. that I roasted. It is a light roasted coffee. Some people call it a blonde roast. So we thought we'd try that out because, again, I think most people enjoy a lighter roasted coffee. There are brands that clearly have dark roast coffee as their flavor profile. As I probably will say 100 times these, I enjoy a darker roasted coffee. Not that I don't like blonde roast or coffees that are lighter roast. I just think the profile of the coffee is bolder and it's heavy on the tongue. I don't normally get that from a light roast coffee, which is why it's a light roast coffee.
Well,
But go ahead. Yeah.
well, sorry, I didn't mean to
Sorry.
interrupt you,
No.
but the light roast, as far as I understand, you get more energy from a light roast because theoretically the idea, as far as I'm, doing online research, and correct me again if I'm wrong, but is that because as you burn through the coffee bean in the roasting process, you actually burn away some of that
Caffeine.
caffeine or
Right.
energy
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
bean
Yeah.
itself. It enhances the flavor, but reduces the amount of energy that you would have otherwise received, which is why blonde shots, when you go to your, local coffee store or whatever, that's why people order blonde shots versus regular espresso.
Yeah. And you'll see a lot of, and you'll see when you go to if you go to coffee houses and you look at their hoppers on their espresso machines, you can actually see the difference in texture and color. And we'll walk through, in the future, we'll also walk through the different styles of roasting and how they show up as bean wise.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good call. Yeah, because I think that's what caught on is the idea that I'm getting more caffeine, and it is a minute difference overall, but I think when you're tasting it, that's you're getting, and it's not as bold and it's not as, I think it's easier on the palate as a whole. So I think what we need to do first, if you don't know, you should always clean your palate. So this is just, regular filtered water.
Cheers.
So cheers. And just take a sip, and that's just to clean your palate off, whatever you were eating before. I did have some chips before this. Had a few chips. I want to wash that off so I don't taste my Dorito chips before I start tasting my cup. So I'll press this down. It's been 4 minutes. And if you don't know, I don't know if I went through this last time, but there's different standards, but overall the sense is
The rule of thumb.
the rule of thumb, good call. Yeah, it's 4 minutes to brew. So you put your coffee in here, to the line roughly here. 4 minutes, you steep it for 4 minutes, and then you push it down. And then this should hold for about 20 minutes. So this is a great way of, again, my favorite way. We'll do some pour overs and other things, I think, in other podcasts. But I think for me in particular, this is best method. And I know you wake up almost every morning and do your own French press.
Yeah, definitely. Or that, or the coffee pods.
Oh yeah, the K cups.
No, not the
What?
reusable ones.
Oh yeah.
All right, you may pour.
What?
Pour the
What grounds enough?
heavy pour. Let's call that. I wonder if sound affects the flavor as well.
Sound.
Like hearing, if it's the same thing as you were saying about the headspace that you're in.
Yeah, I think it could. I mean,
all right, and then we're rolling.
So one of the things you probably were wondering about, if you didn't see it, and we probably, as we edit the podcast, so forth, is there's 3 different shapes pretty much here. Smallest being the Christmas tree, and middle one's fancy decorative one, and then the joy cup. So, and I think as we taste to it, do you want to taste the first one, and then I'll taste the second one, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can do that. Yeah.
All right, you go
Cheers.
first. We got lots of cheers going on here. We're very holiday-ish.
Well, it smells amazing in this cup.
What do you smell? This is a Kenya one. I smell some fruitiness.
Almost smells like Nutella to me.
Nutella. Wow. That's that raw. What is Nutella made out of? Isn't it made out of
like hazelnuts?
Hazelnuts. They're probably saying, fruits and nuts and so forth. Yeah.
It smells very light.
Yes.
I don't know how.
All
it's
right.
a
So
thing.
next thing is sip or run across your palate. It goes
very light.
Very light.
Very,
goes
very
off
light.
the tongue. Doesn't linger. All right. So we said we had some food items. So pick and choose. We have blueberry muffins, we have cheese, and we have chocolate. I'm going to go for a blueberry muffin. Yes, you wanted to. Did you
No,
go
no.
for cheese?
I was
You're
actually
kind of eyeing me.
No, I was looking at the mug over here, and I'm like,
Joy?
yeah, maybe I should try this as well.
Go for it.
Well, this one off the bat. No,
Yeah.
you go first. You go first.
Well, I was going to say the blueberry muffin tastes wonderful. But
Costco. Costco muffins.
But the purpose is to
Oh
show
my
the
gosh.
difference. I'll taste that one, yeah.
I would actually say of the three, of this, between this and this, I definitely prefer the flavor from this mug
Oh, interesting.
versus this. And there's almost no, I can't pick up any scent from this
Oh,
mug.
okay.
This almost tastes like water to me
Wow.
versus this actually tastes like a good cup of coffee.
Now, for me, when I taste the blue muffin and I drink my coffee, I can see myself drinking this all day.
But why?
It's very smooth, and with the blueberry muffin, I think it just complements it because you get the flour, the sugar, the fruit in it. You know, like some coffees, like you taste them and you're like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that coffee in the morning, but I won't drink it all day. I think that's again why the blonde roasts are popular, is because I think most people can drink them 2 or 3 cups a day, probably.
Here's a question.
It's very light.
Do you think, from your years of experience in the coffee industry,
Yep.
that because in Western culture we have we put honey and other things in our coffee on the go, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that by sitting and enjoying your cup of coffee black with a pairing, as compared to putting something in your coffee, like, I don't know the brand, but like those flavored creamers,
Oh, yeah.
do you think that it is a better overall, I guess, experience, like it's a more mindful, like intentional moment? Does that make
I think,
sense?
yeah. If you're asking, are you saying that it's an intentional moment for the person who's doing it? Like there is a certain when they look at the coffee, they want to see how it. Because mom Lola wants to. She used to. She used to get cream in hers all the time.
Yes, and I had to
Now,
look a certain way.
yes,
Yes.
yes. I do think there's a part of that psychologically that people without the cream or without the
Yeah.
taste of honey, there's a certain profile. I know that when I drink espresso, if I do a double shot espresso, which I drink a lot, so is there is a certain taste profile I'm looking for. Clearly, that's just nothing in it, but still, when I taste it, I'll say I like this cup or I don't. And I do think there is something to say about the creamers and so forth. I would challenge people to say, even if you've done creamer, because Lola doesn't drink any with cream now, because now we're roasting it fresh and all those
Yeah.
things. And I think that is the distinctive taste. And there's nothing wrong. Just so those that are watching, it's your coffee, it's your experience. We're just trying to share some of our experiences with you. But I do think if you're trying to say or trying to experience coffee as more authentic and what it was created to be, then I would say try it without the creamer and complement with a pastry or something you enjoy and see if that matches and you don't need cream and sugar. That's the
Oh,
only thing I noticed.
I think I was wondering if and I did a poor job of explaining it before, is the psychological, like, would your coffee, do you think the coffee would taste better by sitting with your black cup of coffee and having it with a pairing, psychologically, because you have, maybe it's a more mindful experience than the coffee and the creamer? Not to say that pouring
Yeah,
coffee in
yeah.
your creamer and stuff isn't a mindful experience, but I think this is definitely a more intentional thing. You sit down, you're eating, and you're drinking the beverage versus just drinking your morning cup of coffee.
I think that's a good episode to have. I think we get a psychiatrist somehow. We're not doctors, we're not psychiatrists.
Yeah,
Just,
not medical
we're not
advice.
but it would be interesting to see from a psychological, because that's what you're kind of saying. I do think what I've read and so forth is, it's like shopping. Everything's emotional for us as
Yeah,
consumers,
yeah,
right? We shop emotionally. I mean, they always say, don't go shopping if you're hungry. Right?
so true.
So there's probably some of that in this piece here. I don't really have an answer for what you're saying, but I do say that you probably, again, what do you feel? What do you like about your cup of coffee? Or is it just, I pour some coffee and put some cream in it? We really want you to enjoy the experience
Definitely.
in regards to the cup. Now you're going to enjoy a piece of chocolate there, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I
With
thought
your,
y'all was talking about enjoying things and eating, and I'm like, well, I better dig into this. So let's see.
If you do that, I'm going to do the cheese, I guess.
Okay, first off, this chocolate is amazing.
Maybe we get them a sponsor for us.
Well, if you guys have ever been If you guys have ever gotten, I'm not going to say the name for liability reasons. If you guys have ever gotten a lemon loaf from a certain chain of coffee stores, this chocolate tastes just like that.
I will have to laugh because for some reason I got a piece of rock in my cheese.
Really?
I'm not sure. Some ant, but yeah, it's like, oh, it's crunchy. Anyways, on a
Okay.
side note,
Well, that's living out in the country.
that's right.
I would say it definitely brings out the, I guess, the zesty kind of flavor in the
Does it taste
coffee.
sweeter or anything with the chocolate?
It does taste sweeter, but I think because these are lemon chocolates, I think
Oh, and that's Kenya too.
this really brings out
Yeah.
kind of the sour
Yeah.
almost, but not in a bad
mean,
way.
yeah.
It's like, all I can say is zest.
Well,
Like
Kenya's really good with lemon loaf.
almost like a sour, like a mild Sour Patch Kid kind of flavor.
The cheese didn't do anything for it.
Really?
Yeah,
Let me see.
I didn't get anything.
Well, this is also this is a sharp cheddar.
Oh,
Sharp cheddar cheese.
Okay. I didn't get really. I mean, it didn't do anything for it. It didn't complement it, or it didn't really. I didn't think it enhanced it at all. I didn't really get any particular feel or flavor besides just the cheese. Now, probably if we went for more, maybe a higher in cheese, maybe. I wonder how a brie cheese or something like that would work with it.
That might be better.
Yeah, we'll have to do another one of that one.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't say this cheese does anything. Let me see about the muffin here. Let's see.
And typically, all he's doing is blueberry and tasting. After each of the pairings, you probably would wash or take a sip of water just to clean your palate. It could be a little bit of it, especially with the chocolate and blueberries. What do you think? You are right about the chocolate. Wow. It's really.
I would have to say, of the three, the chocolate and the coffee pair the best together. And I think this is probably one of my favorite pairings ever. I love the lemon and kind of the lemon chocolate kind of flavoring combo.
Yeah, I think about the lemony part
of
it,
the
right.
two.
That's true. And that's a good compliment for Kenya coffee, typically, traditionally. Maybe not for everybody, but usually the lemon loaf and so forth for Kenya is really, or anything, zesty or lemony, fruity kind of things. The blueberries, I'm surprised the blueberries didn't compliment it more, but yeah, that's how I would say there. So
let me,
yes,
before you go on, let me try it one more time here. Let me try my favorite combo. Let me try it with the mug, the bigger wide rim mug, because this one was amazing. But when I tried this initially, the flavor just wasn't there.
Cool.
So let me see if by adding this pairing, we can get some kind of other flavor, notes out of it. Okay, again, chocolate, awesome. Highly recommend. Definitely need to get them as a sponsor. Okay.
The zestiness of the.
I don't know what it is. It doesn't even have a brand on here. That just goes to show you. It speaks for itself. Kind of like our products. No, see? Even with this still tastes not as good as this.
Interesting.
I don't know if you ever even want to try that at all, but give that a shot. I would say that's almost like, can you taste any of the, the coffee?
Well, I can taste some of the I can taste some of the, and I mean, probably because I just had my other half of my chocolate. I can taste some of the zestiness of lemon. Not as strong as when I had it with this one, to your point, but it's not, it's not as enjoyable a cup, I would say, than this one was. And again, we're kind of talking about, this one does feel a little hotter than this one. It's kind of interesting.
And you do wonder, at least I wonder, I'm like, excuse all the sounds of the cars. We are in this like a main thoroughfare back there. I was gonna say is, I wonder if it would require more sugar and more cream and so forth for coffee in this larger rim mug than this mug to have that same flavor profile not a lot of people look for.
I think, again, I think it's individual, but I do, what I like about doing this exercise for me was that, all the years I've been doing coffee, I really didn't, until we talked about doing this episode, is really distinctly like think of a cup in that way. You're like, oh yeah. It's traditionally, I probably pick in the morning of the plethora of cups we have.
You go into your cabinet and.
But I probably pick cups that are probably more of this style.
Yeah.
then this one, I probably, like I said, I'd probably take this one like to, I don't know, for some reason, just because it reminds me of
Camping.
campfires
Yeah.
and if I know I'm gonna nurse it a little bit longer, like it's a bigger cup, but I know that this is the cup I'm gonna drink if I'm drinking coffee in the morning. That's distinctive. Yeah, it was a good exercise, really distinct, and sharing your perspective, I think was good to hear because it's always different for a
Yeah.
different individual. So, what do you want to talk about now? Anything else you want to wrap up?
Well, I think, going back to the mugs, because this was kind of the whole point of the experiment as we move into the holiday season. And, if you want to tell, your family members what you prefer or buy for somebody else, I think if you want to buy a mug for someone that has, larger hands or has a problem with, smaller handles, and they prefer a stronger, bolder cup of coffee, I think this is the mug, or this style of mug is what I'd recommend. I think for someone
And you're saying style meaning it has a smaller opening,
smaller
not necessarily
opening,
decorations and all that stuff.
yes, smaller opening, larger handle.
Gotcha.
I think this I would recommend to someone that wants a smoother cup of coffee that isn't necessarily, maybe wants to, like you were saying, to drink
Nurse
it
it
a little bit
along.
longer, sit on the couch, has like a slow morning, on a cold day or something. I think this would be the cup for them. I think it's kind of in the middle with the handle because they took like a wide, I don't know what you call it, like a
Yeah.
very, very large width, but it's very narrow. And then this right here, I would just say is probably an all around.
Yeah. It's very delicate,
Um,
very and a
yeah, I
good
think this is probably a
mouthfeel.
good mix for any.
It has good mouthfeel. That's something that I'll look at because, like you said at the beginning, this one has a very thick. I think most people would probably. I didn't see you drip on yourself, but maybe maybe
Yeah,
drip on themselves, and that's a big distinction in cups as a whole when they do research on them. I think that's really good analysis. It's really good, and then the pairing again. Do your own pairing. It's really good to or enjoy and kind of get your own. We love to hear as you go through these podcasts any comments and feedback, right? You
yeah,
can give
definitely.
us and tell others about what we're trying to do here is have an atmosphere of talking on the farm and sharing information.
Yeah, and good cups of coffee.
Good cups of coffee, good conversation.
Which, one more thing before we go,
Yes.
I want to lead into this bag that's been sitting on the counter or on the table the entire time we've been here. Are This podcast will be out next, maybe
Tuesday, right?
next Tuesday, and we'll be posting Tuesday and Thursday, so you can look forward to that. Your early morning, pick me up. And this is actually the Kenya light roast coffee that we will be selling come December 5th. So keep that on your calendars.
Yep. No, it's good. We appreciate your time and have a wonderful day. And thanks for joining us on Positive Caffeinated. Look forward to talking to you soon.
Cheers. Thanks for joining us on Positively Caffeinated. Remember to subscribe and check out our website.
And you always have a seat at our table. Thanks a lot.
Welcome to Positively Caffeinated. I'm Camden.
I'm Tesh.
Pull up a chair.
Let's talk.
Okay, great. Everyone's going to detention. Welcome to Positively Caffeinated. I'm Camden.
I'm Tesh. I thought you said it last time. You said pull up a chair.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
Okay.
You just did your whole thing. You just did your whole lines.
Welcome to Positively Caffeinated. I'm Camden.
I'm Tesh.
Pull up a chair.
And pour yourself a cup of coffee.
Welcome to Positively Caffeinated. I'm Camden.
I'm Tesh.
Pull up a chair.
And pour yourself a cup of coffee.